What's happening, Ravens fans? It's Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports, and coming up here on today's show, we're going to be looking at trades. And the reason why we're going to go ahead and bring this up is because there's been some rumors, some rumblings out there that the Ravens could be trading up into the first round. And no, I'm not talking about moving up from the number 14th pick. I'm talking about taking somebody at pick number 14 and then going ahead and trading back up into the first round. So what you're going to be seeing here on today's show are some trade ideas and some players that, you know what, I'd be willing to come back up into round 1 for. Baltimore has 10 total draft picks as it stands right now, and they traded up to select Lamar Jackson at the end of the first round back in 2018. You see a lot of times with an NFL team, if they believe that they are in win-now mode, and Baltimore, by all accounts, is in win-now mode, and if they think that they need to upgrade at a position or if a certain player is really high on their big board, why would you not at least go ahead and try to consider going up and making a splash play for a dude who you believe can help your football team out right away? And for some organizations, I wouldn't recommend this. However, when you go back, you look at Baltimore, they've been probably one of the most steady, one of the most successful organizations over the last 20, 25 years. So if they think that there's a guy that can help them, I'm going to put my trust into the Ravens making the right choice. So I want to know from all y'all, and you know what? I'm actually going to make this the pinned comment on today's show. So every single one of y'all mother effers that come across this video, go down in the comment section right now. Type Y for yes. Type N for no. While you're getting hit with that YouTube ad break, let me know, should the Ravens trade up in this year's NFL Draft? Let's now look at all the picks that the team has. You got a round 1, round 2. You got 2 round 3 picks. So realistically, if you want to move back up into round 1, where I want you guys to look at a lot of these picks is essentially the 2 third-rounders is great, but you got 1, 2, 3, 4, count them, 5 fourth-round picks. You are able to do a lot with all those fourth-rounders. You're able to do a lot, hell, with those third-rounders. If you tell me right now from an NFL team, if I was able to package, let's just say, both of those third-rounders, 2 fourth-rounders, maybe 3 fourth-rounders. I don't know. You can maybe move up into round 1. You could even be looking at something like a round 2, a round 3, 2 fourth-round picks. Does that get you into round 1? It depends how high you want to go, and it depends how ballsy you're willing to get depending on the player. So in terms of, here's some of the end of first-round targets that I think that the Ravens could potentially be interested in, and we're going to do this based on guys that have a realistic shot of going down the board. And I looked at a lot of mock drafts. I've talked to a lot of NFL draft analysts, and Nakobe Dean, I love the linebacker out of Georgia. He's my second overall ranked linebacker in this year's class behind just Devin Lloyd. The reason he might fall is a little undersized. Plus, there's other people out there that are starting to put his teammate Quay Walker above him. I was listening to one of my good friends that he talked to some NFL executives, and some NFL execs have Quay Walker ranked higher than Nakobe Dean. I like Nakobe Dean a lot more. I love his sideline-to-sideline ability, and last season for the Bulldogs, he had 72 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 5 pass breakups. Plus, what has Baltimore always had? Extremely talented linebackers, and that's exactly what Nakobe Dean's going to be able to bring to the table. A phenomenal talent and a defense that he would help out immensely right away. Now, if you guys haven't already, please go ahead and give us a go ahead and subscribe to Chat Sports on YouTube. It's Easter here as well. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. We're going to be live all 3 days, all 7 rounds, April 28th to the 30th, and fun little fact, we actually get the picks before you see them on television. So subscribe to Chat Sports. That link is available for you all in the comments and in the description of today's video. Let's go to the next play here. It's Treylon Burks. And if you can get more talent around Lamar Jackson, it's not a bad idea. You lost Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins wasn't all that great for y'all. But you know what? Treylon Burks, the receiver out of Arkansas, big, athletic guy. He might not have had the combine that a lot of people were hoping for, but he's 6'3", 225 pounds, does his best work in the slot. He's really athletic. With that big body, you can also block. I am always a fan of the Ravens going out and finding wide receivers that know how to block. You have Marquise Hollywood Brown. He's your burner. You drafted Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota, another player that I like a lot. But no disrespect to Prochet or even Devin Duvernay, they're not what I see Treylon Burks potentially being. So, you know you have a great tight end. Why not go out and, again, put more talent around Lamar Jackson? So here you go, guys. You be the judge. You just saw the wide receiver room, and this is not counting Mark Andrews. I know, Mark Andrews is probably the best ball catcher you got on the team. Sounds kind of weird, but I want you to grade the Ravens wide receiver core. Rate it right now. Scale it 1 to 100. 1, you hate it. 100, you love it. Next player coming up here is Trent McDuffie, the corner out of Washington. And when I look at the tape, McDuffie to me is one of the better players in terms of just being a solid coverage corner. One of the reasons why Trent McDuffie might slide down a little bit, he had a bad combine, no doubt about it. And this is definitely one of these players where do you trust what you see on tape? Because on tape, Trent McDuffie is a baller, and I would love for him to be able to step in, play right next to Marlon Humphrey, take over for Marcus Peters, because at 5'11", 195 pounds, the tape's there. But then you also go look at the combine, you're like, Trent McDuffie had such a bad combine that there's some people who are like, I wouldn't take him in round 1. I wouldn't even take him in round 2. I'm going to trust the tape. I like McDuffie. He's my 3rd overall corner in this year's draft. My next prospect is probably one of my favorite in this year's group. It's Tyler Linderbaum, man. He's not a quarterback. He's not a receiver. He's not an edge rusher. But you know what? Interior offensive line, center, it's an important position. And I get it. It's not a sexy position. There's not going to be a lot of people out there that are really overly excited about the Linderbaum pick. But I think he's the best center prospect that I've seen in the last 10 years. He's my number 1 overall rated interior offensive lineman. You need a new replacement at center, and I think he'd be able to fit great with what Baltimore likes to do. What is Linderbaum good at? Run blocking. He was ranked a 99 overall at run blocking last season for Iowa. Call me crazy. Baltimore's going to try to run the football this season. So, guys, if you haven't joined the flock yet, go ahead and do so. Stay up to date with the latest Ravens news, rumors, whether that's trades, free agency, draft. The draft is fastly approaching. And, I mean, when you got as many picks as Baltimore does, I know you guys are going to have a lot of stuff, whether that's mock drafts, whether it's just extra content. It's 100% free. What do you got to lose? Hit that sub button, and if you don't like the channel, you can always unsubscribe. But I have a feeling you're going to like it because it's free and it's good content. The next player coming up here is Boye Mafe, the edge rusher, linebacker guy from Minnesota. When I really truly think of, like, okay, where would a player like Boye Mafe fit incredibly well? The Baltimore Ravens. He's an athletic player that you could put at edge rusher. And he reminds me a lot of Odafe Owe. I was a big fan of Odafe coming out of Penn State, another Big Ten edge rusher, where people are like, he's super talented. He's a great athletic player, but he needs to go to the right team. That's what I see here with Boye as well. Another player that I can throw in here, David Ojabo. I like Ojabo a lot, really talented player. It's just the injury, the Achilles. You know, you can't use him this year. So what you're looking for, if you're going to trade back in as a player that fits your system, that can work with you guys right away, and that's what I think I provided here for those 5 players. So you guys go ahead and tell me, name a player worth trading back into the first round for. You can throw a lot of names down there, and I get it, but there's going to be some names I'm just going to be like, he's not falling. Producer Jeremy just whispered in my ear, Jordan Davis. I like Jordan Davis a lot. However, the fact that you have Calais Campbell back, I don't know if the need is still 100% there, and I don't see Jordan Davis falling out of the first round, but if he did, hell yeah, man, I would definitely try to trade up for that dude.